it's Megan and I am here to do a get ready with me with you guys, and I am really excited about this because I'm going to do a full face of makeup with the oldest makeup in my collection. And I don't have tons of old makeup anymore. I really just decluttered so much over the years that I don't have a lot of those pieces that I had way back when, but I do still use some of the products that I used to love and have bought many years ago. So I'm really excited about this. There's some such tried and true products in here. Some things I don't use very much, and I even recreated my first MAC palette. Most of these are not the original shadows. Only Carbon is the original MAC eyeshadow, but we have, this is a dupe for Naked Lunch. This is Urban Decay Sellout. This is Makeup Geek Prom Night, which is a dupe for Satin Taupe. And this is ColourPop Boxer, which is a dupe for MAC Mulch. And this was my first MAC eyeshadow palette, and I won it from Lorraine, the Current Custom. It was so insane. I never had anything from MAC before that, I don't think. And so I recreated it with the products in my collection, the single eyeshadows that I currently have. And I just thought that would be really fun because I always did like a standard look with this eyeshadow palette that I'll redo for you guys. And of course I have a full face and a lip product that if you guys have been with me for a long time, you will definitely remember. The one thing that's not super old that I'm using is the Milani eyeshadow primer. I used to always use Urban Decay Primer Potion. That was one of the first high-end products that I ever bought, because I remember in high school, I remember writing a Facebook post asking my friends, like, what do you use to make your eyeshadows like last on your eyes? And people were like, water and like all this crazy stuff. And then I got into YouTube and discovered Urban Decay Primer Potion when it was in that genie bottle, if any of you guys remember that, and how you would have to saw it open to get all the product out. Oh my god, those were the days. And this Milani eyeshadow primer is pretty much an exact dupe of the Urban Decay, and I think it's a lot, like, it's obviously a lot cheaper, and it works just as well. It keeps my eyeshadows from creasing, which is my problem, because I know some people are like, I don't get the point of eyeshadow primer. If you had oily ass eyelids, you would definitely understand. So I have to apply this or else my eyeshadow is just bunched up in my crease by like noon. So I have to use that for sure. And then I am going to lay down a cream shadow stick. This is my oldest one. This is Laura Mercier Moonlight, and I'm trying to use this up. My friend Natasha on YouTube sent this to me so long ago. Natasha was definitely like the first person I really talked to on YouTube, and I miss your videos so much, Natasha. If you're ever able to make more, I would love it. And it was just like so special to make like that first really strong connection on YouTube. So I always think of you, Natasha, when I use this. So thank you so much for that. And it's one of my favorite cream shadows that I have in my collection. And I just like to blend it out, like blend out the edges with just any eyeshadow brush. I think this one has glitter on it because I'm getting glitter in my crease. But a little glitter never hurt anyone. So I'll just blend this out, and then we'll go into the MAC eyeshadow palette. It literally looks like identical to my original one, so I think that's really cool. So what I would do, and I would always use a MAC 217, again something that Lorraine sent in the giveaway. I would go in with Naked Lunch, or this is Sellout by Urban Decay, just like a light shimmery pinkish shade, and I would go like all over the lid from the inner corner all over it. And I have a small lid, so I pretty much always have to bring it up into my crease a little bit. And I'm just basically covering that moonstone, or moonlight. I always get confused. Is it called moonlight or moonstone? Moonlight. Sorry. There's like Becca Moonstone, Laura Mercier Moonlight. Oh my gosh, so many moon type things. So I would just put this all over, and yeah, this is like a really close dupe for that. Then I would take Satin Taupe, and again, this is Makeup Geek Prom Night. I don't know if any of these shades are still made, because even though they're not the original ones, they're still really old eyeshadows in my collection. And I would put it in my outer corner. And I think these two shadows combined are just one of the most gorgeous looks ever. And I would wear this like pretty much every day, and anytime I didn't know what look to do, I would always do this. It's just like a staple look in my arsenal, I guess. Like, it's just such a tried and true, and it definitely was like the first time that I really explored more like smokier looks, and I just love smoky looks. I always do like a deeper outer corner or outer V, and I just think it looks really flattering, and I love these cooler tones. That's probably my favorite. I don't really love like warm tones. So this was like the start of my taupe obsession. And if you guys have been watching YouTube for a really long time, you will know like warm shadows were not the hot thing for a very, very, very long time. Like, everyone was about taupes. Everyone had every taupe ever made. I remember Kristen Game did like a best taupe eyeshadow video, and it was like La Métier Debute Corinthian, and there was a Sephora collection taupe, and there's just like so many taupes, and I feel like we don't get taupes anymore. It's like not the hot thing, I guess. Like, it's all about oranges, and I don't know, it's just a different time back then. Like, I love YouTube now, but I wish sometimes we could go back to the way things used to be, because it was just like, I don't know, there's something special about like the first few years of the beauty community on YouTube. It was just like so magical. Okay, so now for me, this is too cool tone almost, and I love cool tone, but I did this look, I tested this the other day, and I really enjoyed adding MAC Soft Brown, which is one of my oldest MAC shadows. So I'm just gonna add this to the edges just to warm it up, because as pretty as this is on its own, like, I just think adding a touch of warmth brings it all together and makes it, I don't know, it just makes it look a little better. So I'm using my Polidorf Sheer Crease brush, a brush that I wish I had 50 of, but Polidorf is, I think, out of business, or at least no longer sold, so I only have this one, and I baby it. Like, I don't really take it anywhere because I'm so nervous about not having it anymore. And I love this for blending and my crease. So if you have this from way back when, like, definitely don't forget about it. Okay, so that helped. That's not like as warm. I might add more, I don't know. So then I would go in with Carbon, and sometimes I would do like a smoky, like more smoky outer V, but I think what I'm going to do today is what I used to do way back when, and I would only use like powder eyeshadow for eyeliner. So I would take like a small like smudge brush, and I would just go into Carbon, which is, I think, the only black eyeshadow I own. If you have one, you don't need more. Like, this eyeshadow has lasted me like my whole life. So I would just like smudge it along my upper lash line. Man, I have not done this in so long. And it just adds like this soft smokiness to it that's obviously not as harsh as liquid liner, which is what I use now. And if I were to like jazz this up, I would add liquid liner on top of it, and I might do that depending on how I feel. But I would just do exactly what I do with liquid liner today, but with eyeshadow. And I just think it's so pretty. It's just such a soft look, and I don't know, it was like when I was in college, I wanted to wear like a lot of makeup because I just loved it, but I wanted it to be like softer and stuff. Now like I go hardcore, but back then it was just like whatever is the easiest, you know? So this was really easy and I just love it. So that is the shadow eyeliner. And what's funny is I always had mulch in here because this is how Lorraine sent it, but I never really used it with these colors, so just kind of like, I had to put it in there because that's how I remember the palette, but I never really used it with those shades. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the eyes. I'll go in with mascara. I always do mascara almost last. So then one of my oldest products is the Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer. I only have one of these left. I have gone through many of these in my lifetime. This is in the shade Fair, which is, I think, gonna be really, really, really light. So I'm gonna put this on. I usually put on concealer first, but I'm gonna kind of do like the Scott Barnes like highlighting thing. Maybe, I don't know, I'll just leave it at that. It's kind of hot today, so I don't want to put like tons and tons on. But I know for a fact that I used that in college, but I swear I also bought that in high school. Like, I can't be 100% certain, because in high school I remember wearing mascara. That was like the first, mascara and eyeliner were like my first two things that I really tried with makeup. Well, actually, in like 7th grade, I took my mom's foundation and wore it. And my mom's like a lot tanner than me, so I had an orange face for the entire day, and I remember being so embarrassed. Like, 7th grade was definitely my worst year. Like, it's when I got my period, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I wore like terrible makeup, and it was just like hilarious. A really traumatic but hilarious time in my life. Hilarious looking back, it was not hilarious at the time. But yeah, thankfully I think I have like my foundation shade right now. I don't have many old foundations. The oldest one I have is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which I just got last year. I really tried to like use up my foundations, but this is one of my favorites. Like, this might be my absolute favorite foundation, but I do have a lot right now that I'm like trying out. So we'll see if this like still is my favorite after testing all of those. But this is just such a perfect medium coverage, really lightweight, but really great coverage and really long lasting as well. So I did about like a pump and a half, I would say. They were kind of like weird pumps, so maybe just a pump for half of my face. And if you use a smaller brush, you can really like buff it into just those certain areas. That's what I did last summer, and I really loved it. So probably do that once it starts getting like super unbearably hot. But yeah, this foundation is awesome. I remember I've been through so many different foundations over the years. Like, I remember I really loved the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow and Pro Matte. I would definitely try those again. I like them a lot better than the Infallible Fresh Wear that I got within the past like 6 months. I don't really love that. I might love it more in the summer, but I definitely like the Pro Glow and the Pro Matte a lot more. In college, what did I wear? I wore like an Almay foundation. I loved the CoverGirl one in like a squeezy tube. It was like Ready Set Gorgeous. Oh my god, I loved that one. I went through like 2 of those, and I don't go through foundation very fast, but that was definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, most of my foundations in my collection are like pretty new. So that is Estee Lauder Double Wear. Absolute perfection. And I've been getting into setting my face, at least in the T-zone. So I have the MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder. This was a gift from one of my friends on here, Kristen. And I remember she sent it to me because it was in one of my like wish list videos. I just thought that was like the nicest thing ever. So thank you, Kristen, if you're watching this. And so I've been liking to use a powder puff and going like around my nose, like pretty much my T-zone. And I really love that IT Cosmetics powder right now, but this is my oldest one, so I'm just going to use this today. And yeah, I definitely like the puff for powder. I feel like maybe that's why I didn't used to think powder did anything, because I would just fluff it on. But when you really press it in, I think it makes a big difference. So old products, new techniques. All right, so that is that for the base. Then for highlighter, I have this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Lightscapade. And you can see I've used tons of this. I want to finish this up this year. And one of my friends on here, Anna, sent this to me a long time ago. She lives in Poland, or she lived in Poland. I haven't really talked to Anna in a long time, but this is just such like a nice natural highlighter that I don't use very much, but I really do want to finish it up because it is pretty old and I'm almost done with it anyway. Then I have a blush that I rarely ever use, but that is one of the like my most special items in my collection. This is the Estee Lauder Mad Men blush in Light Show. And I'm trying to get this to focus on it instead of on me. So this is the blush compact, and it is just the most like fancy, amazing thing ever, and the color is perfection. So I rarely use this, and I wish I wore it more, but I remember this came out when I was moving out of one of my apartments in college, and it was like literally move out day, and I was on like Estee Lauder's website or Nordstrom's website like ordering this because it was so like special and unique, and I just needed it. And I always wear this like if I'm going on like an important interview, or if it's like a big day or like a date or something. I always pick this because it's such a flattering shade. It's so easy and so pretty, but I don't want it to ever be used up, so I just don't really use it very much. I should have done this before, but my contour, the Kevyn Aucoin Tropical Nights, I love, love, love this. And Chloe gave this to me for one of my birthdays, and that was several years ago. I think it might have been the one time we did like a swap for the first time, and she like made this elaborate box. Like it was basically like a trick box. Like every product had its own section, and you would like open a flap. She was like, she really got into it, and it was just so much fun. I remember filming it during my lunch break at work at my last job, and it was just such a fun like experience to open that. And I love this contour to this day. And then I never used to do my eyebrows, but obviously I'm gonna have to do that, so I'm gonna use my current products. But yeah, I never ever did my eyebrows probably until like midway through college or something. I discovered YouTube in high school, like my senior year of high school. But it was so new then. That was 2010, and there wasn't like tons of people doing it yet. And yeah, I just didn't ever care about my eyebrows because I have pretty full eyebrows, but I do like to make them a little warmer. I feel like they're a little bit cool. So I like to use like an auburn brow pencil, just slightly through them, and then a like light brown gel just to kind of tint them a little bit. And in the future I'm just gonna get like tinted brow gel, not do the pencil thing, but I'm trying to work through those products. And then, oh yes, let's do lipstick, and then I'll do mascara. This is such a Megan product. This is Rimmel Moisture Renew Summer Angel. I wore this to death. I adored this color. It is a metallic nudie pink. Oh my god, I have not worn this in years. I would wear this every day. I loved it. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. I love these lipsticks. Oh my god. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm bringing back Summer Angel. I wore that every day. I used up at least one, if not two tubes of that, which I don't use up lipsticks like that. And it was just such a staple for me. Like, I don't even know if I used other lip products because this is perfect. It's like a little bit pink. It looks glossy. It's not too metallic to me. Like, it's just right. And I just love it. Oh my god, I forgot how much I love that lipstick. So we're gonna have to focus on that and bring it back into the mainstream. Who knows if they even sell it anymore? That's the thing, like with all my old favorite products like e.l.f. Candid Coral Blush, I don't think they sell that anymore. Oh my god, NYC Sunny Bronzer. Do you guys remember that? I used that in college, my freshman year of college. I loved it so much. Oh, those were the days, you guys. Like when I didn't know anything about makeup, there was like Coastal Scents palettes and it was just like the time of my life. So this is the final look, and I don't know if this is how I used to look, but these are definitely the products that I would use. And I just love them. Wow, what a great like rediscovery type of video as well, because I haven't used some of these products in a really long time, and it's just nice to see that they still perform super well, and they're not like, none of these are super old, but I just thought it would be fun to go back down memory lane. And if you have any memories of makeup that you used to use, or when you first started watching YouTube, how like the products that you really got into and stuff, I just think that would be really fun to hear in the comments below. But thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.